Hey crew, Mark Hatmaker here. We're going to do a tiny thing that's on Raw 213. And we're building off everything we're doing from a wrestler's guard position, which we started on Raw 212. There we ran the guardrail, attacking from the high line, the half heist position, and all the way down the line. And everything on that volume, and really on this one, to be honest with you, was predicated on the idea that we were shooting at going for the double wrist lock from the bottom side. Well, really the high side, because we're trying to rise up. And then we also run through why we use so many other factors once we're up if we miss that double wrist lock. So on Raw 213, we're going to do both things. Whenever you shot up, you're still on the high side, your double wrist lock had no cohesion, or your grip did stay together, but there's some problems finishing it. We're going to make sure you're able to finish it no matter what. A super easy aspect of finishing is making sure you always have good elbow position or overhook position, and that way you have an option, a bailout position, as it were. Picture 1,000 words or whatever. Kind of let me bring you in, please, here. Betwixt the legs. And I'm not going to run through all the details about how to, how we got up here. At this point, you guys know how to shoot up and get to the double wrist lock, or what we were talking about with the guard railing and everything. I'm going to make my legs lazy on there. Why I already discussed in a great deal of detail, and particularly even more detail in 212, so I don't want to give away all the candy. But what I'm saying right here is I am looking for, this is a quick follow-up, if you miss a grip cohesion here. Meaning I've done the slap and trap, I've got my, the hands were decked, and I've got my right hand on that left wrist. Yay! I know I ultimately want to have my left hand on my own right wrist as well. But we know that would be a perfect world, but things like that aren't always happening. Often what happens, as soon as you've got this, I've shot to here, they are thinking they need to get rid of this. We know one of the ways they can do it is they're going to drive into the body. Another way to do it is to quickly snap that elbow back to her hip. Go ahead, snap to the hip. If she snaps that back to the hip, then I might be close to getting it knocked back down again. So meaning whenever I'm coming over the top again, my legs are in lazy position. You ignore all this stuff I'm talking about, what's going on up here. Anytime I'm doing an overhook, I don't enter below the forearm. We all know that's nonsense. And I don't enter at the elbow or just a few inches above it. I want to enter as high to the pit as I can, and then work towards my grip. Why do we do it that way? Because if she's going to rip that elbow back to her hip, I'm still hooked up tight into her. If I'm hooked closer to the crook of the arm and there's more sweat, as we have here in mighty God humid Tennessee right now, I can lose that, right? Right, but if I'm hooking at the pit and I know likelihood people are always going to be fighting away from me, when she's pulling that arm back, I'm using that to help lever me up. I'm using this like a rung on a ladder. I don't stop there, right? Right, because then from there we go directly into a pit drag, meaning I want to put my left elbow into my left pocket, but just only go if you have to. But which means I'm not just doing this. I want to turn that left elbow all the way to the pocket, right? Meaning I'm doing this all the way to here, which brings her all the way to the side. So I can either, if we stop at midway, if she's got great base, I've got to go behind. You can throw hooks in and go with the rear naked choke or the sleeper, whichever version works for you. But we also in Raw 213 go, oh, there's other options there, let's not do that. But what this does do, if you think of your pit drag, yeah, back in please. If you think of your pit drag as part of a 1-2 combination, I wanted this cohesion, she drags this back, and I hit a pit drag, this opens this back up, okay? I'm back on top of this, I turn the corner, and I'm going to release it there, but I'm all the way back into a double wrist lock. Get out of here, champ. Thank you. Boom! I'm already back into the crossbody double wrist lock in a top position, so we would call that dog leashing, which is even better. So solo-wise, I'm talking about I get to hear they pull it back as soon as she's pulling the elbow to the hip. That starts me on my travel. That's not going to travel me all the way to left elbow to the shoulder, but that's mnemonic to my body to go ahead and turn completely. As it turns, my hands go right back into cohesion on it because that arm never really left your grip. You're back down to a crossbody, a double wrist lock. I mean, come on, what's wrong with that? Nothing at all, right?